It's meant bolstering local law enforcement so our communities can feel and be safe. It's meant building and opening libraries so that neighborhoods have an anchor where folks can search for jobs online and search for safe places for their kids after school. And it's meant taking real and hard steps to protect our environment, our air and water, both to lay the groundwork for a healthier local environment and a stronger future economy. Frankly, folks, this election's about whose side you're on. In this tough economy, the Republicans in Washington seem to think that government is the right place to turn for a nearly $1 trillion Wall Street bailout, but isn't capable of the rational regulatory reform that we need to protect us from another market meltdown. They think government is fully capable of fighting to protect us overseas, but can't be trusted to serve us here at home. As a Democrat, I want a government that's focused on rebuilding Main Street and restoring the middle class before bailing out Wall Street again and fighting for our CEOs. President Franklin Delano Roosevelt led this country through its toughest times ever. And he once said famously, when you get to the end of your rope, you just tie a knot and hang on. It was Roosevelt's personal grit, his determination, his belief in the American spirit that helped him lead us through the Great Depression and to victory in a world war. But it was also Roosevelt's belief in the ability of government, appropriately focused, to build a floor beneath our working families and to give a leg up for those just struggling to hang on. And that, I think, is his greatest legacy. Do you remember my friend Kelly Tomczyk, who I talked about earlier? That day I saw Kelly walking down the hall at the county. She looked like she was carrying a 50-pound pack, as if the whole weight of the world was on her small shoulders. And it took me back to a time, as I spoke to her and saw the worry and concern on her face, it took me back to a time when I was a young boy. And when both of my parents, first my father and then later my mother, were looking for work. They tried their absolute best to give us everything we needed. But we went through a hard time like many other families face now. When they had tough conversations at the kitchen table at night in hushed and worried tones. And I would sneak down the stairs and listen. And after I'd go up to my bedroom and I'd get down on my knees and I'd pray. And I'd pray to God and say, please, please, anybody, please God, help my dad get a job. Help us get back on our feet. It was a scary and helpless feeling as a young boy because there was nothing more I could do than that. But today, folks, there is more we can do. Today, we can stand up and fight. Today, we can make a difference because we know that in apartments and homes, in bedrooms and living rooms up and down this state, 40,000 Delaware families have children just as scared, just as worried, have parents just as struggling and just as strained. And they want to know whether the folks we send to Washington are listening and whether we're willing to stand up for them and fight. And I know that working together, we can get this country back up off its knees and move forward and build a foundation under the folks who are the backbone of this state and country, under the floor, under the folks who need to be our middle class again. We can fight to bring back our economy, to preserve jobs here and stop shipping them overseas. We can fight for energy independence while protecting our environment. We can fight to make sure our children get the education they need for the economy of the future. Folks, we need leaders in Washington with new energy and new ideas. We need folks who will support our president, but who are willing and able to differ when Delaware's needs and values demand it. We need this fresh leadership, these innovative ideas, this new energy, and we need someone who is willing to fight for the next generation of Delaware. We need leadership that is not afraid to challenge the status quo and demand solutions, not excuses. I cannot do this alone. I need your help, I need your time, I need your commitment, and I need your votes. But I am confident that together we can do this, and together we can win a better future for Delaware. I want to be that leader for you and for Delaware in the United States Senate. Thank you very much. God bless you, and thanks for coming out today.